Right, for this episode, we're going to be talking about all things press. And just a quickie on the press fittings. Obviously, it's Lawton Tube branded and all the rest of it. It's 30-year warranty, and we use on water 15 to 108 sizes, and on gas it will be up to 54 mil. So, Pete, shall we have a go about all things press?
Yeah, so if you've never pressed before, the most important thing is it's not a fitting that you can solder or use without a press tool. So you're going to need a press tool, which is one of these. And what you need to check is, and this is the most important part, to press a press fitting, you need a jaw. And the jaw is linked to the fitting. So you've got an M profile. All your fittings
All our fittings are M profile.
M profile, which means you need to press it with an M profile jaw. There's numerous jaw types and sizes available. This is an M profile 15mm fitting, so we need an M profile 15mm jaw.
Which is by far probably the most popular.
The most common profile for press fittings, but there are different codes. Now, what you will find is once you start pressing, if you're not pressing yet, you'll quickly become aware and it will be second nature to you, but it is very important. You can't press an M profile fitting with any other profile than an M.
So it's worth checking when you go to merchants to buy.
Definitely doing your research and getting clued up. Obviously, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments and we'll answer them. But we're going to be using an M profile jaw for this M profile fitting. So, as with any other jointing method, we need to prep the pipe, which we spoke about in an earlier video. We're going to inspect the end for any damage. We're going to clean it. We're going to chamfer it and deburr it so it's ready to press. So here's our prepped pipe. We're going to use this coupler, so we're going to pop the pipe into the fitting, like so, and then we're going to mark it. This is for the depth gauge. Now there's a few reasons for this, but basically going to mark a line where the pipe meets the edge of the fitting. Then I'm going to take it out just to check that I've gone in deep enough, and I'm going to pop a second mark on there. Now I might do some other parts of the job, I might move something, put a clip on the wall, whatever. Then when I'm ready to start pressing, I'm going to pop it back in, I'm going to check that I go into my depth gauge line. Because while you're working, even while you're getting the tool on, if it's not fixed, things can move. So before we press, we need to check that we've got our pipe all the way into the fitting. That is the importance of depth gauging.
Yeah, and
you don't want to press it with it not all the way in.
No.
Because once you've pressed it, that's it. If you do it wrong, you've got to get it out. So.
And then I'm just going to say, when you're pushing the fitting in, say the fitting is, the tube is coming down and you've got to press it on. One of the great advantages about a Lawton tube press fitting is it's quite snug.
Yeah, these fittings are pretty snug, so there is less chance of them moving, but you know, things happen, they can move. You'll notice we didn't lubricate that. That's just basically the tube into the fitting. We don't need to spray any lube on the O-ring or anything like that. So when it comes to actually pressing, you're going to open the jaws and we're going to locate them around the fitting. Now the jaw will only go on one way. You can see a groove in the center of that jaw there. That takes the groove of the fitting like that. And then when you're ready to press and you check that the pipe's in place, we'll squeeze the trigger. Release it, and that joint is now pressed. And there's a couple of things that let us know. Number one is this indicator ring. Once it's pressed, it breaks and comes off. So if you finish the job and you were walking around checking everything's okay and you notice there was still a black ring on, you'd pretty soon know that that hadn't been pressed, so that's one way of telling you. Number two, it marks the fitting, and importantly for the warranty, on the inside of the jaw you've got a little marking to tell you what jaw pressed this fitting. So worst case scenario, something went wrong and this fitting leaked and you flooded someone's house and you contacted Lawton Tubes and said, can you come out and check? They will look for the indicator that you use the correct jaw. So it's very important that mark is left on the fitting.
And every manufacturer of jaw would have
everyone will check that. There's a little identifying feature on the inside of your jaw that will mark the fitting when you've pressed it. Just on the subject of not pressing a fitting, obviously we've got the black indicator ring there to check it's not been pressed. These fittings contain a leak before press. So on the actual O-ring, rather than it being smooth, completely round, there's little nodules on there. So if we put that into the job and then we forgot to press this one and we filled it up with water, that leak before press, it allows a path for the water to leak out, so you'll have a steady drip coming from this fitting because it's not been pressed, because the O-ring allows it to do that. That's a design feature.
Yep.
The beauty of press though is you don't have to now drain down the system. You can just, as long as you can see your depth gauge is correct, with water in the system, with it dripping, you can press it and it will be absolutely fine. So you've got two indicators there, the black ring and the leak before press on the O-ring.
Yep.
So I may as well press that one just to show you.
And like with the warranty that we have on the tube, there's a 30-year warranty against manufacturer's defect on our press fittings.
So press that, remove the black ring, and that is that's how you press a fitting. Advantages of it over, say, for soldering, it's cleaner, there's no flux on my hands, there's no flux in the pipe, so we don't need to flush it. So if it was a new installation and you're using new clean copper and press fittings.
The most obvious is no hot works.
No hot works. A lot of sites these days don't allow hot works. You're not breathing any chemicals associated with flux and solder.
Yep.
I don't know if the camera can zoom in, but I've just that's the little identifying feature there.
Yep.
To show you what jaw had pressed it. In a nutshell, that's pressing.
And the other advantage of pressing is time, right? I mean, the outlay initially is going to be the cost of the jaw and
yeah, I mean, if we're
tool.
talking real world, a lot of guys will be put off by the price, the initial price of buying a press tool.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at, for a press tool with, most domestic plumbers will use 15, 22 and 28, so that's 3 jaws, press tool, batteries and charger. You're looking at about 1,200 quid these days. So it's a big investment, but the amount of time it saves you, the cleanliness of it, the little confidence boost, because as I said before, you can pop your fittings on. If you forget to press it and your system's full, no draining down, saves you so much time, and just gives you that little spring in your step, because you just know everything's going to be fine. There's nothing worse than soldering a fitting, filling the system up, and then it leaking, because it means a whole drain down, sweat the fitting off. Yeah, there's lots
in
of
a loft where
yeah.
you're worried about something catching fire. Obviously, press fitting is a good way. You can get angled jaws as well, can't you?
Outside in the cold, in the rain, if it's blowing a gale, it's really hard to solder. Gas runs are so easy using press. Obviously, you can use it on gas. Oil, solar installations, they all can be pressed.
Now, you can have an issue where it's a bit tight because of the size of the gun, but which we haven't got.
Yeah, so a couple of things with press, you'll soon learn it. If let's say you're working under a combi boiler, you've got tight bends coming off the boiler, you're probably not going to get your press tool in to press it. So what you'll do is you'll say, right, this one is going up here, clipped on the wall to the boiler, so I know I'm not going to get my press tool in because the boiler's there. So we'll press our piece of copper into that,
yep,
offer it into place, and then we'll press this one and anything else. If you think you won't get it under the floorboards, you might think I'll press it at situ and then thread it into the boards, or you've got angle jaw options, which mean rather than the press jaw being straight on, it's from the angle, so you can come at it from different angles with your tool. One of the best things about press is it encourages you to think about bending more, which is a winner for me. So I find a lot of the time I'll put bends in,
yep,
and then it's limited fittings, but it's quite a nice little double act. Bending and pressing works well together.
The other good thing is, because these are snug fit, you can actually put your pipe run in before you do any pressing. So if you're doing a pipe run from a radiator into an awkward situation, you could put all the pipe work in, and if it doesn't quite fit, you need to do a little bit of jiggery pokery, you can do that before actually pressing everything. Whereas on an end feed, the elbow is probably a little bit looser maybe, and you've got to do it as you go along.
Yeah.
On press, you can almost assemble it all and then go around and press everything after. So that's pretty much covered everything to do with press fittings.
If you've got any questions about press, what tool you need, what jaws, anything about fittings, leave us a comment and we'll try and answer them for you.
Proper in copper.